Am I recording? Hello, it's me again, Chaz, doing another recording. This one's about the AFC World Cup Qualifiers, match day 2. So, quite a few things happened, such as Japan once again scoring a bunch of goals, this time against Bahrain, winning 5-0 in Group C. In Group A, Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan was in a back and forth, 3-2. Uzbekistan won that game, and North Korea and Qatar ended in a 2-2 draw. I'll be talking about these matches and all the other results from match day 2 of the third round of the AFC World Cup Qualifiers. So let's start off with Group A. So Uzbekistan and Iran are first and second, like they were in the second round of qualifiers. Again, both winning. Iran beat UAE 1-0. Gayadi was the goal scorer for that goal came in extra time for the first half, and Iran was able to hold on to that lead. So that's 2 wins out of 2 for Iran. Great start for them in the World Cup qualifiers, kind of picking up from where they left off in the last round. The only team they wasn't able to beat was Uzbekistan, who also have won their last 2 games as well. This is a setback for UAE after their opening win against Qatar 3-1 in Qatar. UAE's next game is at home to North Korea, while Uzbekistan will be playing at home against Iran. That's first going against second, Uzbekistan and Iran. Again, they were in the second round with each other, played each other twice, and both games ended in a draw. So this is the third time these 2 teams will meet each other in the World Cup qualifiers. We'll see what happens between them 2. Now, speaking of Uzbekistan, they did beat Kyrgyzstan 3-2, but they were trailing twice before scoring the deciding goal to win this match. Kyrgyzstan was able to hold on to the lead, taking them to the top of the table in Group A. So going into the third match day, Uzbekistan will be going against Iran, who are second. Both teams on max points. Kyrgyzstan's next game will be against the 2022 World Cup hosts, Qatar. This was now 2 losses back-to-back for Kyrgyzstan. So they're looking for their first win, the first point against Qatar. A really must win for both teams, actually. Qatar getting a point against North Korea in a 2-2 draw. That was the third and final game of Group A. Open up the scoring for North Korea in the 19th minute. It was a smashing strike from outside the box. Great way to start for North Korea in this game. North Korea gave away a penalty to Qatar in the 29th minute. Jang got himself sent off for a challenge. Afif for Qatar was able to equalise from a penalty spot, making it 1-1. And just before the end of the first half, Ali was able to point, I guess, is fair for both teams, but after being a man up for so long in the game, Qatar definitely threw away points in this one. North Korea will be going up against UAE away from home while Qatar, as mentioned, will be going up against Kyrgyzstan. So yes, have another look at that table. As you can see, Uzbekistan top with 6 points, Iran second, same amount of points. Right at the bottom is Kyrgyzstan. UAE third with 3 points, a step back after their loss last week. North Korea and Qatar sharing points, making it 1-1. So North Korea 4th and Qatar 5th in the table. So as it looks, if it was to end this way, Uzbekistan and Iran will be going to the World Cup, while UAE and North Korea would go on to the 4th round of the AFC World Cup Qualifiers, while Qatar and Kyrgyzstan would be eliminated. Okay, that was Group A. Now let's move on to Group B. So Group B, after 2 games, looking extremely close. Jordan are top of the table with 4 points, the same as South Korea with 4 and Iraq with 4. But Jordan has the superior goal difference. They scored more goals than South Korea have, so they both have the same goal difference of 2. But Jordan scored more. Iraq have a goal difference of 1. Bottom of the table is Oman, who lost their previous 2 games. South Korea beating them 3-1 at Oman. Palestine, after their points against South Korea, they lost to Jordan 3-1. And finally, Kuwait and Iraq ended up in a 0-0 draw. Let's start with South Korea. South Korea played Oman and won 3-1. Though they were the better team, they did fight for their 3 points. Hong Hee-chan from a free kick. Heon, 1 win for South Korea. Good result after they drew with Palestine last week. So then next, Kuwait and Iraq played. That was a 0-0 draw. So then Iraq and South Korea both having 4 points, and this is Kuwait's second draw, making them have 2 points now. They are currently 4th on the table, Kuwait, while Iraq are 3rd. And finally, a game between Jordan and Palestine. Palestine 1, Jordan 3. A win against Palestine, which makes Jordan the group leaders on 4 points. Palestine, after their shock draw against South Korea, still have a point, and they are currently 5th in the table. So now we take a look at the table on Group B again. So as Group B stands right now, if it was to finish this way, Jordan and South Korea would go to the World Cup in 2026. Iraq and Kuwait will go through to the 4th round and have another attempt to qualify for the World Cup. And Palestine and Oman would be eliminated from the World Cup qualifying. So yeah, this group's really close. We'll see what happens next. Oman's next game will be against Kuwait at home. That is 4th playing 6th. While South Korea, on the other hand, will be playing Jordan. That's 1st versus 2nd. And then Iraq will be playing Palestine. So yeah, I'm finding this group really interesting. We'll see what happens in October. Finally, let's move on to Group C. Again, a lot of goals coming from this group, mainly from Japan. Japan beat Bahrain this time 5-0 away. Quality again. In 2 games, Japan have scored 12 goals. It's crazy. Really playing well. Like, again, in the second round, they were they were flawless, winning all games, maximum amount of points, and again, 2 games, 12 goals. Yeah, out of any of the teams right now in these qualifiers in the AFC, Japan, really confident they're qualifying. Indonesia get another draw, this time against Australia. Australia, after losing to Bahrain, surprisingly, a draw now against Indonesia. Not looking good for them. But looking even worse for China, though they weren't beaten as bad as they were when they played Japan. They still lost again, this time at home. They lost 2-1 to Saudi Arabia. So let's take a quick look at the group. So there you can see Japan, top of the table, 6 points, goal difference of 12. Still haven't conceded either. It's a great start for them. Saudi Arabia, after their draw to Indonesia, managed to beat China. So now Saudi Arabia are second. Bahrain couldn't capitalize on their win against Australia, but again playing against an extremely strong Japan team. They are third in the table. Indonesia second. Still haven't lost a game yet. So 2 points for them. Australia 5th with a point, and China 6th, no points. Looking tough for those two at the start. Their fixtures for October, so match day 3, I like it. Just based on circumstances, this football has happened, but Australia will be playing China, so that's 5th versus 6th. Japan playing Saudi Arabia, that's 1st versus 2nd, and Bahrain will be playing Indonesia, 3rd versus 4th. I like the way that lined up for itself. That's very interesting. That will definitely shake up the table, I think. Honestly, it could stay the same, to be fair, as well. But I like how that's set out for itself. Looking good. I mean, must win, obviously, all these games are for all these teams. But, a good win against the team that's above them or just below them really put a difference there. 6 pointers all round. So, Well, let's talk about the goals. Obviously, with Indonesia and Australia, 0-0 that game ended up. Let's move on to China and Saudi Arabia. A 2-1, like I mentioned, for Saudi Arabia. Point to mention, Saudi Arabia were losing 1-0, and they were down to 10 men for majority of this game. Ali Laj qualify often for World Cups, made it again. They will be hosting in 10 years' time. So, So take them second, 4 points, 2 points behind Japan. They're playing Japan next. China, on the other hand, really needed to bounce back after that humiliating 7-0 against Japan. Again, being a man up, a goal up, didn't capitalise that on all. That's unfortunate. They do play Australia next. Again, that's another must-win. I honestly feel, though, even after that game, there will still be another 7 games. I think whoever loses that is pretty much condemned. I really do, between Australia and China. At least I can't see
whoever loses that game, I can't see them getting first or second. And the most likely at best third, at best maybe fourth, they could creep in. But again, they would definitely need to change that around. A draw won't be enough for either team as well, especially if Indonesia or Bahrain actually win their game. So yeah, it's a tough one for China, but we move on. And yeah, just move on to Japan. Like, yeah, 5-0 win. Quality again from Japan. Shame for Bahrain, especially after they started off their campaign really well. But this group is probably the strongest group in the World Cup qualifiers. I would say at least half of the teams often qualify for World Cups. So yeah, it's a tough one. But yeah, this is it. So Japan goal scorers were. So great goal difference. They have Saudi Arabia up next. And they'll be playing at Saudi Arabia. So yeah, this is a really good win for Japan. Again, playing well, just like they did in the second round. Really good, positive World Cup qualifiers for them. Okay. We have another look at the table again. Japan first with 6 points. Saudi Arabia second with 4 points. Bahrain third with 3 points. Indonesia fourth with 2 points. Australia fifth with a point. And China bottom, sixth with no points. So as it stands, if it was to finish like this again, Japan and Saudi Arabia will qualify for another World Cup, and Bahrain and Indonesia will go to the fourth round and have another chance to qualify for the World Cup, while Australia and China will both be eliminated. So yeah, this was all the fixtures. The results of the last match day 2 qualifiers of the World Cup Qualifiers AFC. The next matches will be on in October. There will be match day 3. So those games will be on the 10th of October, and then match day 4, the 15th of October. These will be the matches then. So okay, this was the AFC World Cup Qualifiers match day 2 review. Thanks for watching, listening. I appreciate it. My next video will be the CONMEBOL match day 8 review, and then finally I'll do another video about the teams that I believe had a good week. A good 2 weeks during this international break in the OFC, the CONMEBOL and the AFC World Cup qualifiers. Let's say about the top 5 teams I thought had a good international break, and the top 5 who I didn't feel had a good international break. These are mainly on the nations that played World Cup qualifiers. I know some teams played in the Nations League and the had friendlies. These are the teams that I think during the actual World Cup qualifiers who I believe had good weeks or not so good. Thanks again for watching or listening. I appreciate it. Thanks again, and bye.